are about to start our interview with Flordemaya, the Mayan Elder who lives in America. And she is going to talk to us about the Mayan predictions, which is fantastic because we've had that today as well. And she's going to talk to us about the Golden Child. And then she will have questions and answers. So you can ask questions, and I will relay them to her, and she will reply on screen. And then she will end up with a prayer, a Mayan prayer. So we have her for an hour. And that's a great privilege to be able to speak to a Mayan elder like that, and one of the grandmothers, one of the 13 grandmothers, and she is the keeper of the skull, of the Mayan skull. So she's a highly respected person. Here she is.
I'd like to say greetings to everyone. Good morning to you. Blessings to you this morning on this sacred day. Today in the Mayan calendar is 9 Tihash. It is represented by the element of water, and it's also represented by the obsidian stone, the double-bladed knife. It is represented of the darkness, the dark stone also having light that is able to shine through. It is also represented of the thunder beams, and also represented of the magma, the volcanic energy, and the spirit of the sacred fire. Thank you, beloved Creator, for bringing us together, each and every one of us in this sacred circle, not only between the United States and the United Kingdom, but also around the world, beloved Creator, into the four directions, beloved Mother, Father, grandmothers of the four directions, grandmothers, spirit of our ancestors, beloved, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to be able to have this capacity where we could, even at a distance, we could come together and listen to each other's voice, listen to our prayers, and listen to the message of the heart, beloved Creator. Thank you for the opportunity on this sacred day of this element of water, which is the purification and cleansing. It is also represented of the grandmothers of the four directions and the sacred waters, the sweet, sour, salty, and bitter water, beloved Creator. Thank you for allowing us to come together in this sacred way. I'd like to share with everybody, because we are at a place right now where humanity is at the crossroads. We are moving so rapidly in so many different directions, and the revelations are showing us the crisis of the Mother Earth, the impurities of the sacred air, the air that we all breathe, all of the pollution that's happening around the world. I received this vision a year ago this past March. I was in California attending a conference, a spiritual conference, where the attendees were 140 spiritual elders around the world. So all of the religions of the world were represented there. I was awakened in the middle of the night. Perhaps maybe it was around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. We are told within the teachings of my ancestors, the Maya, that at these hours, the visions that we receive are precognitive. It is a prophecy that is happening and that we are part of this reading and vibration of prophecy. I was awakened by a voice where the voice had called my name, and a being came into the room. I noticed that he had a red robe, perhaps more like like a Tibetan master. I did not see the feet, but I noticed that he was floating in the air. And as he called me and he entered the room, I sat in a lotus position with my hands touching my knees. This is an awakened vision. I glanced at the elder and he said to me, Flordemaya, I have a gift for you. And at the same time, I extended my arms from my knees as close as I can get to him. The elder presented me with a very, very large egg. The egg could have been 30 pounds. It was a very large, oversized egg. And I noticed that it was made out of earth. And I started praying. And I started repeating a mantric prayer. And the prayer said, you are love. There is nothing but love. And love is all that there is. I moved my hands back and forth as I prayed, repeating these 3 words, 3 phrases. And I moved my hands from the top of the egg to the bottom of the egg, from the bottom of the egg to the top of the egg. And I repeated this prayer for a few hours. And as I'm doing, the earth around the egg started to fall. And it was like sprinkled dust as it fell on the ground. I started to cry and at the same time continuing with the prayer, becoming very loud with tears in my eyes, moving my hands vigorously back and forth and back and forth. And I noticed that as the earth was falling out of the egg, that it had an inner lining. And this inner lining was like powdered crystal. And the louder that I prayed, and the quicker that I moved my hand, I realized that the crystal dust started to move, started to fall off the egg. I noticed that the prayer was not only going into the four directions, I was able to see myself standing above, where I could see not only the earth, but my vision is also gazing at the four directions, at the heaven, and at the four directions and beyond. I could see the ripples of energy moving, the energy of prayer. And I continued my mantra and continued to say, "You are love. There is nothing but love, and love is all that there is." I would go into bouts of incredible crying, and my voice would become louder, louder and louder as I shouted into the universe. And I noticed that at this moment, the crystalline, icy, crystalline dust began to move. And as it was moving, it started to fall on the edges of the egg, falling all over the floor. As it fell into the floor, it was making like little stardust and twinkles on the floor. I realized that inside the egg, there was a baby. And as I started noticing the baby, I became more and more excited. My voice became louder, and my tears multiplied. And I shouted to the Creator, and I started praising the baby. I started looking at the baby's feet and said to the baby, "Look at you. Look at how beautiful you are, how perfect you are with your perfect feet, your perfect little legs, how beautiful you are." And I started noticing the baby's little hands. And I continued to cry and I continued to praise the baby as I looked at every part of the baby's body. As my eyes are gazing and going up, looking at the baby, I realized that the baby is an androgynous baby. And I shouted out into the universe and I said, "Beloved mother, look at this baby. It's an androgynous baby. Thank you, beloved Creator, for this perfect child." And I continued as my eyes are gazing at the baby, looking at the arms and looking at the beautiful tummy and the beautiful chest of the baby and the beautiful arms. I realized that the baby's skin is golden. And again, I stopped and shouted to the universe and said, "Beloved Creator, Mother, Father, this baby is golden. It has golden skin." And with the tears in my eyes, I was kept gazing at the baby and looking at its face. And at this moment, the baby turned a little bit on its side, was wiggling as the baby was stimulated through the fear. And the baby at the same time moved on its side, and I noticed a little gold wing coming out of the baby's shoulder. And again, I shouted with praises and I said to the beloved Creator, "Look at this perfect baby. This baby has wings." And again, I said, "Thank you, Creator. Thank you for this beautiful, beautiful gift of this precious baby." And then I noticed that the baby had golden hair with a slight little curl on its hair. And again, I prayed again and I praised the baby again. And I called the beloved mother and I said, "Look at this baby with its golden hair. How could this be? How could this be a human? This is so beautiful," I thought. I was so, so in awe of what I was seeing. And the more that I shouted into prayer and called the mother from the four directions, I noticed that the baby started to move its eyes. And I cried and I cried. And I cried and I called the beloved mother. And I started saying to the beloved mother, "The baby is awakening, beloved mother. The baby is moving. The baby's eyes are opening." And there was this long stillness and a long pause. It felt like the earth and the heavens stood still as I'm watching the baby trying to open its beautiful, beautiful eyes. And the baby's eyes are an almond shape. I've never seen almond shaped eyes like that. There were these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful eyes. And the more that the baby kept keeping its eyelids up and down, trying to open its eyes. And I continued to pray, you are love. There is nothing but love. And love is all that there is. And I shouted out into the universe, calling the beloved mother to help the baby. And finally, the baby opened its eyes. And there were absolutely beautiful, beautiful eyes. And I prayed to the baby. And I said, baby, look at you. You have the heavens inside of your eyes. And I could see the twinkling of the stars in the baby's eyes. It was not like a human eye. It was the universe that I was looking at. And at that particular moment, I remember with my prayers, tears, I remember my body just going into this place of transition, leaving my physical body, feeling the light of my being, coming out of the crown of my head and journeying, moving into the baby's eyes. And willingly, I went into this perfect place out in the cosmos. I remember swirling with the energy of the cosmos, moving from one direction to another, breathing the cosmic air, ever so deeply bringing it into my human lungs, and feeling so grateful as I came back into my physical body and felt unable to speak, being in a state of grace. I sat on my bed and I realized that the early morning light was coming from the horizon. This physical vision took about 4 hours. It was very extensive and very vast. I shared this vision with my grandmother's sisters because we were there at this event and we were part of the prayers that were happening that within that day. And I had the opportunity to share with many people of different religions. The reason that I felt very compelled to share this vision with you is because we don't have time to waste anymore. The beloved Mother is coming to us and guiding us in so many different ways. Where we need to be clear of how we are walking on this sacred path, this path of enlightenment, the path that we have, each and every one of us. However, interpret our journey. This journey that we are in is a sacred dance between ourselves and our beloved Creator. And so we need to meet the Creator halfway. We need to make an effort and bring ourselves 50% of the way. We need to step up and be examples. The only way to do this is to be walking our talk. Humanity is going through incredible changes right now. And we're constantly being reminded, each and every one of us, through dreams, through visions, through cosmic visions, we're just being reminded. The star beings are visiting us, are coming to us, are engaging with us in our daily life. So we really don't have time to waste anymore. We need to take that responsibility as we are being called to come forth and to share. When we are born, us humans, we are born with the wisdom. We say in Central America, we are born knowing, because we are that. We are the children of the Creator, as we are children of the light. And so the prayer today and the delivery of today is that it takes each every one of us to make a change. If we're going to make a change on the, we need to step up and do it. I have other visions that I can share with you, but perhaps now at this particular moment, I had asked the conference to share with you the picture of the golden child. I pray that you can see it on the screen. You could see the image of myself with my hands extended out in the cosmos, holding the egg. And the beautiful representation of the child. The child has come to many nations of people, and the child, from the beginning of time, and there are many, many stories of the golden child, but the primary story of the child is that it comes on earth to bring peace. In indigenous communities, it's known as the peacemaker. It, it has been in the history of North American tribes where the child had brought communities that were in war, had brought them together. The child appears in many parts, in many countries of the world. Last year, when the grandmothers and we were traveling through Switzerland and Germany, we went to the Baltic Republic, we went to Czechoslovakia, and I saw the child walking out there. And as I saw the child in these different countries, I encouraged the community where we were to erect a peace staff, a pole. It could be of any size. And I remember coming together with the community, and we adorned the poles with rainbow color ribbons. And the last ribbon to be put on top is a golden ribbon. And so 3 countries in Europe have this peace pole that we erected with the grandmothers. The gold is also representative of the beloved mother. This is the color of her light when she comes into a physical form. This is the golden light of androgyny and balance. It is that then meeting place of male and female. It is that light that touches the male energy and brings it into balance. And it is also the golden light that touches the female, brings it into balance. We can't be thinking ourselves as being separate anymore. We need to think of ourselves as a single tribe of humans. And we need to remember the language of the heart, the language of love. And that's what the baby represents. That it is through love that we can restore ourselves. the human race, as we continue to make cosmic contact between ourselves, the humans, and the infinite. I pray that this vision is taken into your heart, members, because what it represents, it is a representation of your inner peace. The staff represents that when you go out of balance, perhaps maybe there are problems in the family, raising children, husband and wife problems, you can make your personal little staff, and you can bring that peacemaker into your home and into your place of being. And when you find that peace, that you can share it with your community, put it out there where community members can come and bring that and find that peace, that inner peace. And when the community has found that inner peace, then you erect another one for the country, so that peace comes into that place, that country. And when all of these peace staffs are erected around the world, then we could find peace amongst ourselves. I'm going to leave this message with you, and I'm going to open at this moment for questions and answers. Yes, I can hear. Thank you. Okay.
Anyone has questions for Flordemaya? Anybody would like to ask a question? No? Do you want to ask her about the Mayan calendar? What's happening on December 21st? Well, who wants to ask a question then? What's that? Okay. The grandmother plants. Somebody is asking about the grandmother plants.
Yes. The grandmother plant is available. It's available in powder and it's available in oil. What I can do is I can send you, Francine, the information where people can receive more contact. The name of the plant is called Tahetes Lucia, is the botanical name. It is a plant where I was instructed by the beloved mother to make it available to humanity. The words on this mandate was make it available to people, make it available to humanity, because we do not have time to waste. We need to move as quickly as the light. The common name is the grandmother plant. That is the translation from Spanish to English. The botanical name, as I mentioned, is Tahetes Lucia, and it comes from the marigold family. It's very, very difficult to grow. And after 4 years of trial and error, we have been growing it here in New Mexico. My colleague is growing it in the farm for me. And so we have lots and lots of it available right now. The push is to make the plant available so that we could get through this period of change through 2012. That is the mission of the plant. After that particular time, I don't know if I will have it available because it's a very tedious task to grow it.
There you are. Did you hear that? You heard that.
And
okay.
what the plant does, what the grandmother plant does, is that it has the capacity. The spirit of the plant has the capacity to enter the body. It's a topical use. It enters the body and it awakens the physical body on a cellular level. It awakens the light body. And it enhances the light body. And this is the beauty of it. And when you apply it on your body, you can feel it instantly. It is like a wave of energy that will move throughout your body. This is the aid that's available to help us reawaken ourselves. Thank you for the question.
Okay, I'm going to see if other people have questions now. Hang on.
Okay.
Any other questions? Yes. Yeah, okay. How does she see? Okay, I think she's explained that with the baby, but the new baby is coming. I'll ask her. Someone is asking how you're seeing what is going to happen on December. No, but I'm speaking to her. Okay.
Okay.
Someone's asking if you could help us understand what is going to happen on 21st of December 2012.
Okay, that particular message, what happened with humanity, the Western world, they never took the time to ask the indigenous Maya the question. Basically, what happens in 2012 is that the calendar changes into the year zero. We start a new millennia. The changes that have been predicted, the changes of havoc and turmoil, lots of death coming upon the earth, all of this we have been seeing in the past couple of years. The energy is changing. The earth is in gestation. This is what the prophecy is saying. We're going through incredible, incredible changes right now. At this particular time, the earth is, as it spins on its axis, is going to wobble, and it's going to also bring a lot more turmoil, more earthquakes, and more shaking. The earth being that it's a living, breathing planet. When we say she's going through gestation, is like a woman having a baby. She's going to go through the crampings and the movement, the restructuring. the rebalancing, and what will come out of that as the earth spins and as it wobbles and and gets itself realigned, that it's going to create a lot of change on the earth. Not only is it happening on the earth, but it's also happening um, universally. So that is the whole meaning of this, and we are in the midst of it, and that's why the beloved mother says we don't have time to waste. We need to help with the change, and the way to do it is to enlighten ourselves and to get rid of some of this generational stuff that we carry around, not only in the past generations, but also for the generations to come. This is our responsibility as a human nation. We have these tools right now. The grandmother plant being just one, there are many, many, many aids, many things that are helping us out there right now. You just have to find something that would be helpful to you and give it a try, and surrender to wanting to be also a helper in this incredible change. But that's the whole message behind the year zero. We're starting a new way of being. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
And many thanks to you and the conference and everybody. Much love and light to everybody. Thank you so very much. Because we are at a place right now where humanity is at the crossroads. We are moving so rapidly in so many different directions, and the revelations are showing us the crisis of the Mother Earth, the impurities of the sacred air, the air that we all breathe, all of the pollution that's happening around the world. I received this vision a year ago this past March. I was in California attending a conference, a spiritual conference, where the attendees were 140 spiritual elders around the world. So all of the religions of the world were represented there. All around the world, beloved Creator, into the four directions, beloved Mother, Father, grandmothers of the four directions, grandmothers, spirit of our ancestors, beloved, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to be able to have this capacity where we could, even at a distance, we could come together and listen to each other's voice, listen to our prayers, and listen to the message of the heart, beloved Creator. Thank you for the opportunity on this sacred day of this element of water, which is the purification and cleansing. It is also represented of the grandmothers of the four directions and the sacred waters, the sweet, sour, um, salty, and bitter water, beloved Creator. Thank you for allowing us to come together in this sacred way. I'd like to share with everybody I was awakened in the middle of the night. Perhaps maybe it was around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. We are told within the teachings of my ancestors, the Maya, that at these hours, the visions that we receive are precognitive. It is a prophecy that is happening and that we are part of this reading and vibration of prophecy. I was awakened to you this morning on this sacred day. Today in the Mayan calendar is 9 Tihash. It is represented by the element of water, and it's also represented by the obsidian stone, the double-bladed knife. It is represented of the darkness, the dark stone also having light that is able to shine through. It it is also represented of the thunder beams and also represented of the magma, the volcanic energy, and the spirit of the sacred fire. Thank you, beloved Creator, for bringing us together, each and every one of us in this sacred circle, not only between the United States and the United Kingdom, but also
We are about to start our interview with Flordemaya, the Mayan Elder who lives in America. And she is going to talk to us about the Mayan predictions, which is fantastic because we've had that today as well. And she's going to talk to us about the Golden Child. And then she will have questions and answers. So you can ask questions, and I will relay them to her, and she will reply on screen. And then she will end up with a prayer, a Mayan prayer. So we have her for an hour. And that's a great privilege to be able to speak to a Mayan elder like that, and one of the grandmothers, one of the 13 grandmothers, and she's the keeper of the skull, of the Mayan skull. So she's a highly respected person. Here she is.
I'd like to say greetings to everyone. Good morning to you. Blessings